The following Profiles in Caring is brought to you by generous funding from Equitable Life and Casualty, committed to being the premier life and health insurer for the ultimate generation, today's senior American.
Welcome to our show. Like many countries in Africa, the population of Uganda has been absolutely decimated by wars and by disease, including AIDS and malaria. And so many children of that country are now left impoverished and orphaned. Well, a U.S. resident, David Ssejinja, grew up there, and he decided to do something about it. Photojournalist Shauna Scott has the story.
This crazy marketplace is not 20 minutes from a tiny little village over a hill where you'd never guess this kind of bustle of humanity exists. That's where David Ssejinja went home to help the orphans in his own community. These children are proud to sing their national anthem, even though life in Uganda is hard. But these children have high hopes for the future. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a teacher.
A teacher? That's hot. Do you know what you want to be when you grow up?
Teacher.
Teacher. Everybody's going to be a teacher. With hands on their hearts, they sing tribute to their school. They are among the few who enjoy the privilege of going to school. Uganda reportedly has the highest proportion of AIDS orphans in the world, almost 2 million. That's 20% of all the children under the age of 15. But they aren't just dealing with medical issues like AIDS or malaria. Services are limited. 52% of the population does not have access to clean water. In urban Kampala, the capital city, the air and streets are dirty and overcrowded. And in rural villages, there are no services, no medical, no plumbing, no electricity, and no schools. David Ssejinja saw the need, and he came home to make a change.
The central question to us all is, what have I done to touch, to stretch, to brighten, and have a child smile and lift that child, to give that child high hopes?
I want to be a teacher. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a sister.
You all know me. What's my name?
Ssejinja.
Village of Bira. This is where I was born. I grew up as a young boy like you. I did not have shoes. Yes. I walked many miles going to get water from the river. The water is pretty dirty. So dirty that just a mere looking at it, you can easily get sick. And then I go get firewood from the forest and come back home.
We are using the firewood as fuel for preparation of our meals, and the distance from the forest up to the school is about 1.5 kilometers.
Just to keep the school running, the kids have to take time to haul water and gather firewood. This is time taken away from class and studies. They do it because they know that education is their only hope for the future.
I had the hope and the courage that life will change someday.
And my father and mother instilled in me a great education.
Because of that, I was very patient and I was very humble and able to listen to my teachers.
Yes.
And so, when the opportunity came, I was able to go to America to get an education.
Whether talking to a small group of boys or a national rally, David Ssejinja brings a message of hope, convinced that education and democracy can change his homeland.
My fellow Democrats, we have assembled here this evening to witness the ceremony of which we are standing firm in commitment to the truth and justice.
The opportunity in America helped me to open my eyes and see the freedom that America enjoys and democracy, and see the very basic principles of the Constitution that everyone enjoys. And looking back in my country, we didn't enjoy the same privileges.
We will not be satisfied, and we cannot be satisfied until every man, until every woman is free to exercise free democracy with a free constitution. If you see a man walking down the street, tell him
And you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an electricity manager.
You want to be an electricity manager?
Yes. I want to be a pilot.
A pilot. Nice.
Seated with me is widow Prosi Ndagere, who my heart loves so much because of who she is and because of her aspirations to life.
No one could blame Widow Prosi for crying because of her condition, but that's not what brings these tears.
This is how Prosi starts her day. She digs. She dug all morning right from way down up to here.
Prosi is a widow. Her husband died of AIDS in the year 2000. When she found out, she was also infected. Prosi has 7 children between the ages of 6 and 16, and the last 3, 6, 7, and 9, are all infected with AIDS.
Here lies the tombstone of Mr. Sam Kasirivu, who was the husband of Mrs. Prosi.
Prosi knows that she will join her husband sooner rather than later, because whether it's life-threatening like HIV/AIDS or something seemingly insignificant, there is no medical help for these rural villagers. The nearest medical center is 50 miles away.
And this is my new friend, Terrell Pista. She was bitten by a bee, and it has caused this huge scar under here. Most people that are bitten by bees, we have medical help in the United States. She has none.
She's a farmer, and so all that she relies on is farming. She has 3 children, and all kids don't go to school. One of the greatest needs they have is a school. They don't have one in this place.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A nurse.
For me, I want a lawyer.
I want to be a teacher.
And so we decided to have a non-profit foundation that would provide education, that would provide welfare, that would provide the hope for these children to be better tomorrow, to be better leaders, and to be able to feel happy of what they have done with their lives.
When we come back, we'll see how David Ssejinja and his organization laid the foundation for improvement in Uganda. Stay tuned to see the scope of their work.